Hey y'all, Heather here. So today is the 12th. So I am approximately, if I had surgery on the 16th, it's 31 days in May. So that's 15 plus 12 equals 27. So this should be post-op day 27 if my math is right. So just to backtrack for those who don't know, excuse the mess behind me, this is a transparent moment. I even have a hole in my shirt because I was doing some work. Don't judge me, I'm not supposed to be doing work, but I put on an old t-shirt so I can get some stuff done. But I had a total hysterectomy on the 16th of May. That includes removal of both tubes, your uterus, your ovaries, and your cervix. So I wanted to get on here because I wanted to give an update, but I also wanted to share some of my thoughts. The first thing that came to mind was no one told me that when you go through the change of life, which is menopause for women, that your body goes through these types of changes. Like, okay, my appetite has changed, my food aversions has changed, what I like I don't like anymore, what I didn't like I now like. Okay, but no one told me that my body was going to actually be hot to the touch, like hot, like burning hot. Okay, no one told me about the night sweats where you feel like you got out of the pool and laid down. No one told me that the air could be on 67 and the fan could be on high and I'm still hot. No one told me that there would be facial hair. No one told me that there would be times where I had spurts of energy and then times where I'm tired. These are the things that we don't talk about as women. And there are older cousins, aunts, my sisters passed away before they went through the change. I have one living sister left, and to my knowledge, she hasn't gone through it yet. But no one really tells you about these things. But these are some of the things I've experienced. I woke up one day and I had hair right here. Like, what? We can't have that. My hair, my texture of my hair is soft. I just I think Monday last week, when I washed my hair, I blow dried it and I clipped my ends for the first time. So if my cousin sees this, I didn't do a chop, I clipped my ends. And as you can see, don't excuse this part because I didn't want to put gel or anything on my hair. Trying not to put a lot of chemicals in my hair because I'm letting my hair recuperate from surgery and from when I took my braids out 2 weeks ago. Braids coming again, but as you can see, my hair is it looks healthy, right? You see it looks healthy, and so it's in a sloppy bun. But I wanted to get on here to say, like, there's certain things that you're going to experience that maybe someone else didn't experience or someone didn't tell you about. And so I'm just here sharing my experience. I am supposed to be cleared to go back to work on the 28th. If my next post-op on the 21st goes according to plan, I'm going to actually have to call my employer because I'm not going back to work on a Friday. I'll go back July 1st. So there's that. I started going outside and going for walks for 20 minutes a day. I was able to clean up my room, the dressing room, and the master bathroom. I still love black coffee. I have to remind myself to eat throughout the day. It is 2:07 and I haven't eaten anything yet, so I have to eat something after this video. But I wanted to also get on here because there are highs and lows to this journey. You have days where you're okay, and then you have days where you're not okay, right? And so I thought about losing a sister in May of 2021 and then another sister in August of 2022. I thought about how my sister who passed away in August carried the same cancer gene as I do, and she wasn't able to have the total hysterectomy, and because of it she passed of ovarian cancer. And sometimes you you can have survivor's guilt. Sometimes there are days where I think back on the conversation she and I had and how she was an integral part in me actually going through with this preventative surgery. And it makes me think about how we often ask, why me? And we never look at the other side of that, of the why not me. Now, this is not an easy journey by any stroke of the imagination for me, because my husband and I desire children, and we're never going to be able to have children naturally. We're never going to be able to look at a child that looks like he and I and, oh, this child has your personality, but this child has my mannerisms, or whatever the case may be. We won't have those type of experiences. And I'm not sharing that for you to feel sorry for me. I'm sharing that for you to understand that you never know someone's journey. And so we have to be very careful how we handle people. I thought about the book of Habakkuk and how he asks, how long? Right? Because we don't know how long we're going to go through what we're going through. And I've been going through since 2020. It's 2024. We halfway through the year, and then there's something else that, happens, or there's something that makes you feel a type of way, and you're just like, God, how long do I have to go through? And we never think about the journey and the why behind the journey, right? We're always like, how long? Or we ask, why me? And we don't think about what other people have gone through that could be worse, or the fact that in John 3:16 it said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. The world, that means all of us. That means those that are not living the way we believe they should be living. That means those, if you're a part of this world, God loved you enough to give his son. You just have to accept him as your Lord and Savior. But moving on, I thought about Job asking, why is the righteous forsaken? Right? And then I thought about how we're often in a situation where we're like, I'm okay, right? You put on a mask, because that's pretty much what you're taught, right? I don't know about you, but I was taught you put on this mask and you pretend like everything's okay, and but everything's not okay. And so we have to learn how to balance that. I don't want to bleed on here, but I do want you to know that this is a very difficult journey for me, and I do have days where I'm not okay, and it's okay to not be okay. Just because the world expects you to be okay doesn't mean you're okay. Just because your family has a certain expectation of you because you're the one that always comes through, or you're the oldest, or you're seen as the strongest, doesn't mean that you're always okay. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to not be okay. I had a conversation with a friend, and we talked about different things that people go through and different responses people get. When you go through a divorce, people will give you different types of responses. Some people will be like, oh, you didn't fight hard enough for your marriage. Or some people will say, oh, you should have left that person a long time ago. When you go through fertility issues, right? People that don't know, they're like, well, when are you going to have children? Do you not desire to have children? Your spouse will be so great. Or it's, have you ever thought about adoption, or have you thought about a donor egg? If you're not going to go that route, then that means that you don't really want a child. But that's easy to say when it's come easy for you. What's easy for you that's hard for someone else is easy for you to give them your opinion about it, because you didn't have to walk a mile in their shoes. So sometimes we have to learn to handle people delicately, but also for yourself, set healthy boundaries. And don't allow the things that people say to get to you, because understand that people speak off of their experience, which is not always your experience. And so I've learned not to be offended because someone says, well, if you really wanted a child, you would have done it this way. You do things the way you know, right? And so I wanted to encourage you guys today, whatever you're going through, know that it's not for naught. You're going through what you're going through to reach your purpose and destiny in life. There is more to life than tragedy. And although tragedy comes, tribulation comes, and it's really a hard thing to navigate through, you will be okay. I will be okay. People say, why you always get on here and you so positive? It's not that I'm positive all the time. I try to be, but I'm not, because sometimes I have my days. I'm human. We all have our days. But to sit here and be negative or sit and gloat in it, it's not going to make the situation different. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to change anything. So now I have decided to share my story and my journey to help me. This is therapeutic for me, and I pray that it's helping someone else through. When you go through certain things in life, you feel like you're the only one that's going through it, and you're the only one that's ever experienced it, and no one understands, and you're alone. When there's a whole community of people that understand, they're just not sharing. Just a little backstory. In 2014, I was told I had a ovarian cyst, and it would dissipate over time. If it didn't dissipate, that I needed to contact my doctor. It did dissipate over time, but then I had fibroids, and the fibroids were small, and they were like, there's no need to be alarmed. In 2018, I found out I had the BRCA1 gene. I went to a geneticist, and she said, you should try to have your children now, because by 40, you need to make a decision, have a double mastectomy and a total hysterectomy. Went to my PCP to follow up with her, because she's the one that referred me to the geneticist, and she said, try to go to a fertility doctor just to make sure everything's okay, and if it's not, they can help you. We went through fertility treatments about 4 different times between 2018 and 2020. I'm letting you into my world. When COVID hit, we stopped, and then we picked it back up. In 2021, my fibroids got so bad that I had to have an open myomectomy. I had 15 large fibroids removed, and they were able to save the uterus. And so the intention was, after I healed, to go on with fertility treatments. Well, something came up where I could not. I won't go into that story because I'm not going to talk negatively about anybody on here. But it was a experience that was very negative and very hurtful, and so we stopped treatment. In 2022, we did one more round, and then we stopped, because I was told that I had low egg quality, and I had never ovulated, I had never been pregnant, so I had to take medication for all of that, and it was really messing with my hormones. 2023, I went, I want to say about 4 months without a menstrual cycle, and I contacted my OBGYN. She ran blood tests, and the blood test came back that my egg quality was 0.02. And at that point, I'd never been pregnant. I was 40 years old. I couldn't ovulate on my own. And I was perimenopausal. So for those who don't know what premenopausal or perimenopausal is, that is the beginning stages of menopause. Once you go 12 months straight without a menstrual, you are in full-blown menopause. So it was at that point that I knew, okay. She was like, I'm sorry, the chances of you getting pregnant are probably less than 2%. So we were able to kind of go through that, and I had to make a decision. I was like, all right, so breast cancer is more easily detectable, so I'm going to have the total hysterectomy. We went for the pre-op, had the surgery, went for post-op and all that, you guys, and it's leading me here. So I say all of that to say it's been a journey throughout the years. I got married in 2015. So throughout our marriage, this has been a lot of the stuff that we have struggled with, and my husband has been amazing. I've seen so many stories on YouTube where the husband leaves the wife because he can't handle it, and I don't judge them because you can only handle what you can handle. And a lot of times we have expectations of people and they are not equipped, and they don't have the wherewithal to rise to the occasion. So just remember, when you are going through certain things and you have people by your side, be grateful that you have that support system, because everybody doesn't. Now, I have my husband, he's a great support system, but I understand that everybody doesn't have that. So I'm sharing my journey again on YouTube because I wanted to encourage somebody and let you know that you're not alone. Again, if you have questions or concerns, you can email me. My email is in the cards, or you can comment on this video. Looking forward, or looking towards the second half of this year, I plan on going back to work, but also working with my business, Anointed to Write. And so I'll be helping people write their books, self-publish their book. I'll be helping people with their signature talk. I assist people who are looking to become more visible and more credible. And as a PR liaison, I teach people that credibility plus visibility equals equitability, and I show you how to get there. And I'm also a DEI and education consultant. So for those that are just starting their daycare, for those that are trying to get training for their staff, those are the things that I'll be doing. I'm looking forward to a productive second half of the year. I'm looking forward to being positive and to gaining my health back, because in 2025 I have to have yet another major surgery. So my husband and I are having conversations about where we go from here and what's next. So I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for joining in on my TED Talk, and I hope you guys have a blessed Wednesday, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.